With the draft exactly 1 week away, we take a look at a couple different options for the Eagles starting at pick 23.
Does A.J. Brown's uncertain future with the Birds dictate how they draft? Do they get his replacement at wide receiver, or do they continue to prioritize the offensive line by getting Lane Johnson's replacement? We'll find that out and more in Birds Coast to Coast.
You're listening to Birds Coast to Coast. Here's your host, John Clark and Tanner Riddle.
All right, everyone, welcome to Birds Coast to Coast. We are so happy to be here with you tonight. I'm John, that's Tanner, and then I am John, that is Tanner. I know for like the three people that listen to the end, but they think that I might be Tanner, he's John, but it's just a bit, But anyway, I'm John, he's Tanner. We're here to kind of talk about the Eagles mock drafting tonight because last week we've been focusing on the Cardinals, and this week we're going to focus on the Eagles, obviously, at pick number 23. We're going to do a 3-round mock. The Eagles possess 4 picks in the first 3 rounds, so we're going to use that to kind of catapult our draft strategy and what we expect to happen next week. I know, right? 4. Thank you, Hassan Reddick, for 2 years ago. Can't believe, like, honestly, it's so funny about the Hassan Reddick trade because you want to talk about someone who like fell off. Like, I don't even know what team he's on now, and I remember when that trade happened, I was like, oh
I'm
my
not sure.
god,
Is he on a roster right now?
dude, that's why Howie's a wizard, man. Like he's a wizard. Like, I'm telling you, the second we traded Hassan Reddick, I remember I was at the mountains. I was with my mom, and all of a sudden I looked at my phone. I saw he was traded, and I was like, "Oh my god, why did we do that?" And I was like, and the final kick in the nads wasn't even for a pick in the current that upcoming draft. It was 2 years in the future, and I was like, "Oh, oh wow, are you kidding me? I don't even get a draft pick in this draft. Wow, you have to make me wait 2 years." And then we won a Super Bowl, so it was all good. But so yeah, we're going to talk about the Eagles' 4 first 3-round picks today. We're going to see exactly where I could go, kind of in the same vein that Tanner did, how we went with different positions. I think the Eagles are in similar boats where we talk about where we can kind of diverge into different directions with different positions. And we'll talk about which positions I'll probably vary up in the mock drafts. I believe, Tanner, did we do 3 mock drafts last week with you? 3?
Yeah, we did 3.
Okay. So we'll shoot for 3. Keep it very similar. Of course, we'll do some prospect diving into each of the picks that went previously, kind of see whoever the Cardinals picked on those mock draft simulated players. I did change up the big board, so I wonder if that big board and how the board falls in terms of the ranking system affects how the computer ends up simulating the draft picks. So that'll be interesting to see exactly how that affects things and who's available at 23 and obviously the rest of the draft. But I want to start off with a little bit of around the league because real Eagle bird heads out here will have known that Howie Roseman was at the I guess the Jefferson complex. Now, no, I don't know if you heard this, Tanner. The Eagles for the longest time has been like their headquarters has been called like the NovaCare complex. I don't know if you knew that,
I think
but
I've seen that. Yeah.
probably been that way for decades, right? And this year they lost the naming rights. Now it's the Jefferson Health Complex. Doesn't roll off the tongue as well. So
Sounds like a
anyway,
disease.
it doesn't roll off the tongue. So Howie was at the Jefferson Health Complex, and he spoke to some reporters, and the reporters, like one of them being our own Elliot Shore Parks, and not our own, we wish, but
Oh, he's
the
ours.
legendary ESP. He got his first question in, and he was basically asking Howie Roseman about the article that got released a couple weeks ago about Jalen Hurts' standing in the locker room and standing amongst the front office. And, he basically said, since you don't live under a rock, what are your responses to these articles? And, they basically called into question Jalen Hurts' character, his work ethic, how he's viewed amongst his teammates. A lot of kind of mean things and negative things are kind of thrown on him. And this is exactly what Howie Roseman said. He said, quote, so for us, I'm just kidding. So for us, if we have any, I'm just kidding. All right.
Continue.
Lock in. So for us, if we have any issue with any of our players, we talk to them directly. From my perspective, from Nick's perspective, from Jeffrey's perspective, we're not hiding behind anything. We will talk to our players directly. I think that it's unfair. It's unfair to have these articles written, but I understand it's also what sells at this point. So yeah, I think it's unfortunate. Now, here's the issue. Jalen Hurts' guaranteed money ends at the end of this year. And there's been a lot of speculation that he may be looking for a contract extension. And then these hit piece articles come out talking about his standing and how a lot of players don't jive with his leadership style and he's kind of standoffish. And, a lot of people are basically taking that response. And, the question was, you know, how do you view Jalen? It wasn't, you know, what's your opinion on these articles getting leaked and how it was leaked? It was like, what do you feel about Jalen? And he didn't answer that. He said, "Oh, we love to talk to our players directly. It's unfortunate that these articles get written." Nowhere in that response did he say, "Jalen's our guy. That's ridiculous. He's got our full support." Like full steam ahead. We don't talk about contract negotiations, but we couldn't ask for anyone better to lead our franchise. He didn't say that. He didn't say it. Because you want to know why? Do you want to know why I know that's a fact? Because it almost leads to the next talking point. Because he was also asked about AJ Brown's future with the Eagles, and I understand that GMs they don't go up there and say much. Damn, they don't say anything basically. But they were asked the same question, like, "Hey, where do you see AJ's standings with the Eagles? We've signed a lot of 1 to 2 year veteran receivers this offseason, like Hollywood Brown, Elijah Moore. We just traded for Dontavian Wicks. Like, what is that? What are the signals there? Like, what are we trying to tell the fans?" And instead of coming right out and saying, we're not getting rid of AJ Brown, he said two things. He said, one, AJ Brown's an Eagle. AJ Brown's an Eagle. AJ Brown's an Eagle. And if you've played this game long enough and has been an NFL fan long enough, you know that that's basically GM speak for, we are currently in trade negotiations and I can't give them any leverage. So I am just going to say that he is currently on the roster. Now, to some people that might be like, a little much of a, like, kind of like a crappy answer, because you might say, well, yeah, he's going to say AJ Brown's an Eagle. But like, what's a better answer than that? Well, what if they asked, "Hey, we just signed Dameon Pierce. Do we have to worry about Saquon Barkley?" Do you know what his response would be? It wouldn't be Saquon Barkley's an Eagle. It would be, "What? No, we like Saquon's like on our team and he's going to be on our team and he's a stalwart for our team moving forward." Like that would be the response. That's not what they said about AJ. So I don't know. I didn't tell you pre-pod how I felt about this. I thought in the back of my mind that like maybe the AJ Brown trade wasn't going to happen. I think at this point it's just a matter of how much and when, not a matter of if, and how much in terms of like trade value back. And for Jalen, I really wish they kind of endorsed him a little more. Like and it might just be the WIP listener talking, but like, man, like I really wish they came out and gave them some more support instead of just saying like, "Yeah, hate when these articles get written. We talk to our players directly. That's not how things should be conducted. But yeah, I think it's unfair." Where was the Jalen support? That's not Jalen support. That's like organization support. What do you think, Tanner? Welcome to the show, by the
So
way.
you brought up the idea because like no one's asking about Saquon Barkley when you sign a second or third string running back. He's just another depth piece. Same thing with any offensive lineman signing. Oh, is this going to replace Jordan Mailata? Like, so we're doing this specifically for Jalen, but isn't that because there was a hit piece on him? Like, why would we be asking about Saquon Barkley? Like,
Well, I mean,
Saquon Barkley is probably like universally he's a top 5 running back in the league, or he's at least a tier 1, and you can rank him however you want. It's preference at that point, but no one's questioning Saquon Barkley as like, no one's like, Saquon's carried on the Eagles. I guess maybe some people are suggesting because the offensive line's so good, but the clear reason why people are asking about Jalen is because there are questions about, is he a tractor or is he a trailer? Does he carry the team or is he carried by a team? He doesn't necessarily have the gaudy passing stats that you see the Joe Burrows and the Patrick Mahomes and the Josh Allens have. And it's undeniable, like, the Eagles have had a great roster. What, like a decade now? Like, when have they really struggled when it comes to like overall talent?
2020.
And so that just leads you to question. And yes, I throw out passing stats as if that's the most important part, but people just don't seem to want to value the tush push and the quarterback sneak touchdowns as much as maybe they should, or they probably should value it more because then otherwise other teams would have similar stats. But that's why people are asking. As far as like Howie's response, yeah, I mean that seems to be like the classic. Yeah, this is what I have to say because I really am trying to trade him, but just in case that we don't trade him, like
And we're
I
talking
can
about
always go
AJ
back
Brown
and
now.
say, oh, yeah, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
That's why I say AJ Brown's an Eagle, because if we do or don't make a move, we look back at this comment and you can't accuse me of lying.
Yeah, I mean,
He will forever at this moment be an Eagle, no matter what happens going forward.
exactly. And the other thing that was interesting is I forgot to mention the other point. The reason, because the question was like, hey, we signed all these like pretty decent receivers, and the question is begged like, hey, does this show that AJ being on the outs is a thing? And his response was, look, in the past we've been very lucky about our wide receiver depth, and our wide receiver health. AJ and Devontae have stayed relatively healthy for a large portion of their careers, and they haven't really had to like dive into the depth. But if you look into the wide receivers that are behind like the number 3 receiver for the Eagles, it gets scary quick. Like, I mean, most years our 3 receiver isn't even very productive. Like, it's Jahan Dotson's, it's Quez Watkins, it's what's Alameda Zacchaeus, it's Zach Pascal. You know what I mean? It's guys who get like 200 yards a year. They're just not part of the offense. And behind them are like Darius Cooper, like unrestricted free agent, UDFA camp, like a guy who made it out of camp from UDFA. He's good in preseason, but he's just a rookie. And we got tall ass Johnny Wilsons, and we don't really have like dudes who, if we had suffered large wide receiver injuries, we would have to actually have someone to be like relied upon. So his
I can't think of like long stints of AJ Brown being hurt or
no,
Devontae Smith being hurt. And then when you have Dallas Goedert, who is a huge threat in the passing game, and then obviously with Saquon, he's represents 50% of the total offense. So like, yeah, you've had that luxury of not really needing to prioritize wide receiver 3. But it does make it interesting how much effort that they've put in to a whole bunch of really good wide receiver 3 candidates.
yes, it makes you wonder. Like, and his response was basically, we wanted to change that outlook. We want to feel comfortable about the wide receivers 3, 4, and 5 on the roster in case there are some injuries. Now, that's a very roundabout way of saying we want to build depth in case something happens. Now, like, he's just saying that something happened.
Is he just playing the odds like, hey, we're due for some injuries? I mean, let's just say like, everything was going all peachy and no one was having issues. And like, but these moves were all made. We could easily justify saying, yeah, but like we've just have been lucky. That doesn't mean our luck will continue.
It feels like a very tongue-in-cheek way to admit that he is in fact building the receiver room in preparation for something, just not admitting that it's for a trade because he can't do that.
It's a great answer to cover all sides of whatever happens.
Oh, you knew he was preparing for this. Like, he was going to get that answer, that question, and he knew that that was going to be his answer. And I
Yeah.
just, I love how he like dodges and weaves. He doesn't give an inch, man. It's great. Howie Roseman press conferences are like, it's like a work of art. You just watch the master at work, how he kind of spins his narratives. It's great. Anyway, so that's kind of it. I mean, I don't know. I mean, June 1st is still a thing with AJ Brown. We'll see if he's traded on draft night. Listen, it might be a thing on pick 31, and all of a sudden, whoop, swapped, and that's it. So we'll see.
To be fair, like we've been using the June 31st date for a while now, probably even a couple months. Like that's always been there. It's forever going to be there until something happens. It's just we kind of know we have to wait till that date.
Feels stale.
Yeah.
Feels kind of boring to keep talking about it. It's like, all right, we know at some
It
point.
just seems like, and then maybe there's just like a salary cap rule. It seems so unnecessary. Like,
Honestly, like, and you know what? I wouldn't mind him being traded on June 1st. I want next year's picks. Like, I don't want
if
this
you're
year.
gonna get someone's pick, don't get the Super Bowl losers first round
Yeah, like
pick.
I want next year. Like I'll
It
wait.
only gets worse if the Patriots win the Super Bowl next year.
Yeah, like if you're not giving me this year's first or next year's first, then wait until June 1st. Because I'd rather take your 2026 or 26, 27
Or
second, something like that.
why not wait till next offseason? That way you get a full use of AJ Brown.
Yeah,
And
but
I think that's the tricky part.
then he's 30.
Whether if you trade him at June 1st, the other team's like, well, then I'm losing. You know, like I want him now because I want the actual play from him.
No, of course you want that year 29 season, or is it year 28 season? I forget what year he's at. But
Year 26. Yeah.
yeah,
Oh, you
yeah,
mean the
want,
age? Age,
yeah. You don't want to risk that year getting that because you know wide receivers tend to fall off a cliff, especially wide receivers of his, I guess, build. You know, like that's a lot of force he's running with, a lot of weight.
Don't let Vrabel hear you say that because now he's gonna lower the price.
Nah, he's got his sources.
Maybe, yeah, he's got his sources.
He's got.
Well, not anymore.
Oh gosh! All right, so let's go ahead and jump into this mock draft thing. So I'm going to go ahead and share.
Actually, I want to mention one thing about some news.
Oh
I
yeah,
know
sorry,
it's not
Cardinal,
Eagles related.
forgot about
So,
Cardinal land. Go ahead.
So Ty Simpson had a top 30 visit scheduled for the last day, where he's coming here locally to Tempe and spending a full day with the staff and whatnot. It was just notable because we're probably the number one team targeted for Ty Simpson. I'm not even sure why we even watched the draft because it just seems like he's a Cardinal already. And we're not just going to take him. We're going to specifically trade up and late into the first round to take him. It's just funny how when that announcement came out, all of the big national guys, the Ian Rappaports, the Tom Pelisseros, the Mike Garafolos, they're all doing the this is something to watch, and you got the emoji eyes, like, hey, this is noticeable or this is notable, just keep an eye on this one, and just like it's kind of over the top.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, okay, do you know like there is a deal in place, and like there's a 85% chance that this is happening, and you can't just come out and say that. Last week, it is interesting that in the 3 mocks that we did not take Ty Simpson at all at any point. We didn't trade up for him. We didn't take him at 34. I'm already even hesitant to take him at 34. And it just seems like it's already written in stone that we're going to trade up for him. So I definitely am not on board for that. I would rather just continue to build the roster and be in the 2027 pool and see what we can get there. I don't anticipate being.
Seriously,
go ahead.
That's when you'd have to pull a Josh Rosen, and then because if it doesn't work out, you just have to immediately skip over and then get rid of him again.
Well, this is how nerdy I am. I was actually rewatching the 2018 draft, live, pick by pick today. And do you remember where we were with Josh Rosen and what we traded? Because you remember we traded up for him. Do you remember where we were?
We were at B-Dubs.
We were. So we started with the 15th pick, and we moved up to number 10. Do you remember what the package was? So obviously we swapped 10 for 15. Do you remember what we added to get that done?
I'm guessing another first at least.
Really?
I don't know. What was it?
A 3 and a 5.
Oh wow, what a deal!
Right. And at that point, you could say like, hey, there was only 2 quarterbacks left on the board. It was Josh Rosen and Lamar Jackson. 3 picks earlier, Josh Allen went, Baker went first, Darnold went third, then Josh Allen went 7th, and then we end up taking Josh Rosen 10th overall, but he was the 4th quarterback. So maybe the price went down a little bit, but the fact that you went like, oh, you probably traded a first, right? I think typically we're probably closer to that price than we are the 3 and a 5. So I'm a little surprised that we were able to pull that off. I mean, it didn't work. It was a complete failure. But process-wise, I mean, hey, that's a good deal.
I mean, we don't know though. I mean, who does who the third and fifth rounder end up being?
You would have to ask the Raiders. I don't know off the top of my head.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm wondering.
They did actually. But with the 15th pick, they took Colton Miller, who is still he's been a pretty good left tackle for them. So worked out for them.
That's one part of the package.
Yeah. I mean, it's enough to say that they won it clearly.
Yeah, better than Josh Rosen. All right, yeah. So that's interesting. I'm really excited to see. Like I said, draft night's exciting because either he falls into the second round and it's like immediate Ty Simpson watch, like for Friday, or
Well, so it's funny you say that. About 10 minutes ago, Ian Rappaport, or it was at least, I saw it. He said something. If the Cardinals do not take him at 34, he could be waiting a while. So that 100% means the Cardinals are going to overpay when they don't have to. Isn't that what that means? Like, who else is going to take him?
He's about to get Shadored.
He could.
I mean, why wouldn't he?
I'm not going to lie. I think I had less questions about Shador than I do Ty Simpson. I mean, Shador has the family pedigree. He's got the games played experience. He turned around a program that was very when they took over Colorado. I did not think we were going to talk about Shador. When they took over Colorado, they came off a 1-win season,
and not only
and they became instantly relevant. Then how did they do this year?
He was projected to be like a top 10 pick. Like no one had Shador Sanders even falling to like, I don't know, the 20s.
There were legitimate discussions about if you liked Cam Ward or Shador Sanders more.
Of course.
Cam Ward went first overall. Like, yeah, he absolutely could have a Shador because he's only got 15 starts. That matters. He's undersized. Like,
how
that matters.
You have in the league where you have guys who only have like a handful of starts just flare out. You got your Trey Lances, your Anthony Richardsons.
Cam Newton was the only one.
Yeah, that's it.
And honestly, he had an up and down career. His peaks were as good as anyone. He won an MVP, went to a Super Bowl.
And you can't even say the reason why it worked out for Cam is because he was like a genetic freak with like, amazing God-given abilities in his body. Because Anthony Richardson is also super athletic. Trey Lance is also super athletic. That seems to be, the calling card for those types of quarterbacks. You get drafted that way because of your raw athleticism.
But Cam dominated in college.
But does Ty Simpson fit that bill?
No.
The raw athleticism project who's only started a handful of games? No. That makes it even more concerning. His college
career felt more like Mitch Trubisky.
Man, we're going to be sitting here Friday night and having that pod and talk ourselves into Ty Simpson, aren't we?
Someone threw out the idea, because we had the first pick and the third. If he's somewhere like, mid to late second, and we've already taken, our 2 picks, maybe we trade up into the late second. It's weird at that point, that's kind of purgatory land where it's like you don't take quarterbacks in that range. You either are sold on them and you take them in the first, or he's a day 3 pick. Like, it's weird how it works out. But let's put our Birds hat on because we could be doing this all night.
Well, I was about to say because like the Eagles love Jalen Hurts so much that they took Jalen Reagor before him. so yeah, I guess I'll end it with that one. All right, so let's go ahead and put on our Birds hats. We actually do need to buy some like Birds hats.
I want that. What's that guy who has the hat and he kind of pulls the string?
The
wings?
Yeah.
He was sad.
His name is Monty.
That's the one I saw.
His name's like Monty. Let's see. Right, pull the screen up. There we go. All right. Does it show up? There we go. All right. Cool. All right. So we're going to go ahead and do the same rules as we had before. We're going to go ahead and let it play out. I'm not going to... Did you have it on turbo speed?
No, I moved it back a little bit because I wanted to, if we were going to play around with like potential trade up scenarios, I wanted to make sure you do the positional value because we had a lot of Jeremiah Loves go second overall.
Okay. Draft for need, positional value, so more?
At least half. I wouldn't go all the way, but I would say at least half. I think that's good enough.
More
randomness. I don't think we need too much randomness. I mean,
No.
that seems fine.
I think draft for needs and positional value should be pretty in lockstep. All right,
I
let's do
think
it.
I think that should work.
Okay. All right, on the clock. Let's go.
Is there any scenario in which you are, if you want to go ahead and pause it, just to, so we don't get too far, is there any scenario in which you think the Eagles would be interested in trading up?
Well, to
If
keep it
you're interested in
similar,
a tackle and you see a tackle run, because this is, tackle territory, I think, coming up.
well, here's the thing. I don't want to do trades
Okay.
because you didn't do trades. I think it'd be unfair for me to get sitting
We
here and be
did
like, "Here,
discuss them. I think that's fair.
yeah,
Yeah.
like, oh, that looks like a great." Because honestly, look, we've played Madden enough to where we can just manipulate the picks and make it like look like, man, look how good I came out with extra first and blah 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 blah. Blah. Like, I hate it when people post that like I didn't do too shabby. You know what I mean? You get like 2 first rounds. It's a good job, you fake GM. Like, just pick the player. You're here to pick the player. Like, you're not.
When
Oh,
we
we're
get
gonna.
to 23, we'll look back and who players that went 17 to
Yeah, we're
22.
gonna do 3 of these mocks. So I mean,
Yeah.
more than often,
Do you have a
somebody's probably
position
gonna
you want
fall.
to like kind of go into it saying we're going to take first?
I think I'll let the board dictate that. I
Okay.
have some ideas.
Whatever we take this time, maybe we'll play
Yeah.
around on the next.
All right. All right. So
Ooh,
first,
they went Tyson.
before the yeah. Okay.
All
Ooh.
right.
Oh, that changes things. Okay. All right. So we got Fernando. We got David Bailey, who I keep hearing is a lock to go. Let me zoom in a little bit. Arvell, which did we do Arvell for you, or we did? No, we did
We
Bane.
just did Edge.
Yeah, we did Bane. Love going 4. I keep hearing that. Styles, Mawaga, or how's it?
I pronounce it Maui
Maui
Noah
Noah.
as
Maui
if there's
Noah.
like a silent N.
Carnell
Or not
going
silent, the
top 10.
opposite. An
Jamon
invisible.
McCoy going top 10 because he should. I saw some dumb mock earlier today. I don't know who made it. Had him going like late. It was an idiot who posted it. Wow, Ruben Bain falling to 13.
Where'd Mesidor go?
Who?
Uh,
Mansoor?
Mansford.
Oh,
I'm
he went
sorry,
8.
not
The Saint.
Mesidor.
I could
Mansford
totally.
Delane.
Oh my god, I can totally see him in a Saints jersey.
Is it the LSU tie?
Oh yeah. Oh, Bucket. They will. No, that's not
Okay,
happening.
how smart do they look taking Emeka Egbuka last year? Remember in the moment, everyone like liked him. They thought he was a good player. But when they actually took him, they're like, they have Mike Evans. They have Chris Godwin. Why would they take him? Now
Now
look
Mike
at him.
Evans is gone. Chris
Now it's
Godwin.
like they have a legit wide receiver need.
Yeah. I'm not gonna lie, man. Like, I'm kind of worried. I do
You
not
don't
like
like
how this
this?
board. I don't like how
Let's
this
see who's
board fell.
available.
Do not love how this board fell. Okay. So we have Kedrick Falk, who appears to be like that, like middling, kind of like late, late first round pick kind of edge guy. Let's see what he's kind of got going on for him. Now here's a guy. That's funny. First look. Falk is not a pure pass rusher. Love that. Love that. But his length and strength make him for an ideal fit for multiple odd fronts. Excels at holding the line of scrimmage, generating pressure through power. Man, that's boring. All right. Let's see here. Emmanuel McNeil Warren's been a guy. Now, look, he comes from the same college as Quinyon Mitchell, so he already has that familiarity with our boy Quinyon. And we have a huge safety need. But I have this friend, Tanner, who taught me once that positional value and contract value, especially in the first round, matters. And safeties just don't make as much on the open market. So I don't know if taking a safety in the first round, despite the positional need and the value pick here, lines up with potentially the value that you get for his first contract. So I don't know if
Look at
I
his measurables. Go to first look.
big explosive safety. Oh, okay. So he's like Eamon Worry.
I was gonna say he's probably this year's Eamon Mori.
He's like,
So we have Caleb Downs and we have Thieneman. Like
mhm.
he looks like the older brother between those. I don't
Ooh,
think
okay.
those other two guys.
Okay, all right. So wow, that's very interesting that that player is still that far down. Okay, so I did not want to spoil this, but I was looking for a wide receiver in the first
Okay.
round. I was looking for Jordan Tyson to fall to 23. I just don't know if that's happening. Um, and to be honest, I see Casey Concepcion here, but I keep hearing how he's very much just a slot guy. I don't know if we're if we're taking AJ Brown and shipping him somewhere, we're gonna need to find someone who's like a true X receiver, someone who's gonna line up on the outside, and I just don't know. Look at this. Concepcion's a versatile athlete who found success in the slot, out wide, and even in the backfield. Though his best fit is likely as a hybrid Z or slot receiver. Exactly, not an X. So I am very skeptical about making him the pick. I, I just don't know. I mean, look, it would be so exciting to hear his no receiver, woo, and he's got like really good like. I heard he like sent like a letter to all the NFL teams this week, and he said like I'm gonna be the best player. No one's gonna work harder, and I'm like, all right, kiss up. Um, and we
My
also have
favorite was how he signed off on that letter. He
Denzel.
apparently, I think he does have a speech impediment
Now
or he
here we
stutters.
go. Denzel Boston, a smooth moving X receiver with the size and skill. A lot of people have been saying that's kind of the pick. In fact, ESP kind of has him as his favorite receiver. 6'4", 209. I mean, that's size for days. Size for days. He's not quick, but he's got huge wingspan and can, go up and catch the ball. And single coverage seems to be his like forte. But I don't know, man. I hate to be the guy who is like, what, I've been burned in the past. I'm just not one to do it. Like when we took JJ Arthego Whiteside in the second round, and I get it, that was a second round pick 7 years ago, but those it still burns. It still burns when a player just does not pan out. And you got this West Coast team, Washington, big receiver, little separation. Just don't know, man. I just don't know. So I'm gonna go ahead and
Can I
I'm
actually
going.
mention something on
Go ahead.
Casey Concepcion first?
Yeah.
So you were talking about slot versus out wide, and I understand he does project as a slot guy likely in the NFL, and maybe this is just the difference between college and the pros. This year he was in the slot 34% of the time, and he was out wide 65. I'm not
Interesting.
gonna lie, that was probably about at least half of what I would have expected. Like it seems like he's the type of guy who is going to be a primary slot. He seems like the one of those perfect like Amon Ra roles. I know they say that with Mekhi Lemon a lot too. He projects to be a Amon Ra St. Brown type role, but I don't know. I think it was interesting to at least note. I do understand if you're gonna get rid of AJ Brown, then that doesn't just open up any wide receiver slot. It specifically opens up an out wide slot.
Well, you look at these numbers. You can see that the slot numbers are going down. You go look at 2023 heavy slot, 2024 a little more out wide, 2025 it's been flipped. So maybe there is something to that, And you know what? I've been burned in the past by thinking that receivers like JJ or no, not JJ, but Justin Jefferson, were just slot guys. So maybe you know what? Maybe I do roll the dice on a Casey Concepcion, and he gets some. He
It's
gets
funny to hear a
outside.
lot of the draft guys talk about him, especially the ones that like love him, because they essentially talk about him as if he's perfect. He just has hands issues, which
Well, look
seems
at his
important.
drop rate. It's very like this is
Oh, it's
not.
that's terrible. Like
Yeah,
that's one of the worst.
that percent.
I
That
actually think that's a little overrated. Like I'm not. I mean, it's real. It's a real number. I wouldn't be too concerned about it because at the end of the day, even if he has a 10% drop rate, if he's a true deep threat, what are defenses going to do? Like not cover him deep or not double team him because 10% of the time, like no, they still have to defend that area whether he drops the ball or not.
Yeah, that's very interesting. That look at this, the trends. Okay, you know what? So I'm gonna go ahead and I might pick receiver later. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and take a look at the guy that we were talking about last week, and you really wanted him in the second round. And
Go
I'm
ahead,
wondering
pronounce his name
if I can see Max Ironacre. What's his name? Max Ironacre.
again. I could be wrong. I pronounce it Ianachor.
Ironacre. Okay. So
That could
I'm
be wrong,
wondering
but that's how I've heard it.
there comes a time in every draft fan's life where you have to understand that like you have to eat your vegetables every once in a while, and it's never fun. It's never fun. Like you never leave the draft going, "Wow, that was exciting." Especially in the later first, where the tackles like those are never the studs of the. Usually, the best tackles are taken top five. So we're looking at guys who are developmentally shaky. And look at Max. Look at Max for example. Only began playing football in 2021. Bang, right there. Like that's big flag right there. Something's going on. Definitely not like your blue chippers. Something. He's got some work he's got to rein in. So, but I like this guy. It looks like his stats are in the right place. His run block grade's good. Pass block grade's good. Zone grade, which is what we're working towards in the running game, since we're moving to the Shanahan offense. So you know what? Throwing caution to the wind. I'm gonna pick my boy Max Ionacher at Acker. I don't know. Max. I'm gonna go with Mad Max.
Mad Max. I get it though. When you have a strength, you want to take advantage of that strength by building up a weakness. And it does feel like, oh, we're just like adding more to our strength, like we're not addressing another opportunity. But the reality is, like, there are guys like Lane Johnson who've been around since 2013. He can't play forever.
And
You
of
know,
course, as soon as we have the big Casey Concepcion debate, the Browns trade and go ahead and snag him. That was last week. Actually, that was a trade for Travis Henry. So not Travis Henry.
Travis Hunter, yeah.
Travis Hunter. Travis Henry is the old
That was
running
the
back.
Jaguars pick.
Yeah. So
Do you think a
so
little bit differently given like we know that they ended up being pretty good? Because remember, in the moment, I don't think a lot of us were like, oh, that's definitely a 13-win team.
yeah, the fact that it ended up being the 24th pick, that's
I mean, I know that feeling. It's the Texans. When the Texans had CJ Stroud and they wanted to go up to number 3, I'm like, that's a bad team. Give me another first, give
then
me
it
another
just
top
kept
5 pick
winning.
in next year's draft. And it ended up being number 27.
Oh, interesting. Okay, so Denzel Boston to the Chiefs, Ty Simpson goes to the Jets, and then right before
Hey,
yeah,
Kale Lomu.
yeah,
I think Arvell Reese went first. Oh,
wow.
that would be a good draft. I would like that. He is a
Wow.
left tackle though, but we'll
So who
figure
we
that
have
out.
going on now? We have Gabe Jacas, I don't know. And then we got Chris Brazel, Jake Galdi, Traden Stukes. Is that Jeremy?
It's
Hermy?
Jeremy.
Jeremy, all right. And looks like Zachariah Branch. Okay, so we got some guys, and remember, we wanted to go receiver in the first round, so maybe we can find some better value here. So let's look at Chris Brazel. Oh, got some great. Okay, so much better drop rate. Oh my gosh, 3.2%. Yards per route runs off the chart. Good receiving grade. Good versus man coverage. 2 drops all year. That's really great numbers.
Look at his
Um,
measurables.
I've heard his measurables are insane. 6'5", oh my god, 200 pounds. Holy crap. Boomer bust vertical receiver capable of posing a wow, 20 the next. Route tree is limited, but what he does, winning downfield, he does very well. Vertical offense, high upside receiver who likely begin his career as a wide receiver 3 of the team. Okay. Okay, so this guy's screaming like God, like 6'5", 200. He reminds me of like DK. Limited route tree, fast, runs verticals.
Do we have combine results on here or no? I don't think we do.
Not on PFF, I don't think. The analysis thing isn't working for some reason. So I don't know. But I mean, if you look at this, you look at the yards, it just keeps growing. It's interesting that he had 700 and he dipped down. I guess he got hurt. I don't know. He didn't get hurt. He just wow.
He ran a 4.3740 at the combine.
So I'm looking at Chris Brazel here. I'm also really interested in Zachariah Branch. His drop rate's even better. He only had 2 drops all year, and I
Now he
believe
will be a slot guy.
and
He
he's
is a
also
gadget
he's
type.
a slot guy, speedster, you know, difference
Jet
maker,
sweeps.
jet
Yeah.
sweep. So I just don't know if a jet sweep guy is worth the second round pick. I think a lot of the times you get these like stud receivers like DK and AJ Brown who fall to the second round who just aren't as polished. And I think Chris Brazel's kind of like in that same vein. So maybe we can steal like the next AJ by taking Chris Brazel. I'm gonna take him.
Here's the thing with Chris Brazel. If he went to pretty much any other school, he's probably a first rounder. I don't
Ooh,
think
Nussmeyer.
I don't think teams trust wide receivers from Tennessee because it's one of the most gimmicky offenses in the country. Guys don't
Interesting.
run real routes. And there's actually it's like a philosophy in their offense. If it's a run play or if a play is not designed for a receiver, you will legit see receivers just not do anything because their philosophy is we'd rather you spend that energy on like meaningful plays and meaningful routes. Tennessee wide receivers, there's a lot to like. They're fun, they're productive. I think when it comes to transitioning to the NFL, I think there's going to be a lot of skeptics. He's 6'5", 200, ran a 4.37. Like,
Something's up.
seems like he was created out of a lab. I think there's a reason why he's not a top 15 pick. But
Yeah, go
if
ahead.
someone's gonna make it work, it might be, in Philadelphia where you got a lot of the stuff that the core foundation in place.
Well, it's interesting because you look in this third round, early third, and you got guys like Ted Hurst, who I know people have been really excited about. Another one of those like lean freak 6'3" speedsters, just crazy vertical ability. Then you got Skylar Bell, who I don't know if you watched the Brent Coleman video, but he's really high on Skylar Bell. Apparently,
Mhm.
he's very very strong at UConn, and he just put up absurd what's it called production numbers. At UConn. I mean, look at that
He adds
1,200.
special teams, I think, too.
Look at that. He had 102 catches in 13 games. Insane. 4 drops all year on 141 targets. I mean, you could find these guys, like late in this draft, like a lot of projectable, like awesome type build upon what they already have on the mold of their body type receivers. So maybe going receiver in the second round might not even be worth it. Like maybe you could find these like good project receivers later in the draft. Because right now I see a couple that are very interesting to me. But I don't want to go back to back receiver. So now I feel like I have to go with my other position of need, which is it was corner. But now that we signed our guy Reek Woolen, I'm kind of thinking that we may need to go to the edge position. But I don't know too much about the edges out here. I know Romello Height, and I mean look at these numbers. I mean this is insane pass rush numbers. I mean I don't.
Texas Tech had a lot of good defensive players.
I mean this is
That was the strength of
insane.
their team last year.
Look at this run grade. Look at these pass rush grade. Are you kidding me? I don't know much about this guy, but I'm just of his PFF grades. This is an insanely good pick. Pass rush ability, strength.
25. Oof.
Okay, yeah, that's concerning.
That
25 and
concerns me how much he jumped up in production. Is a 25-year-old just
oh,
like taking advantage of like 19-year-olds?
and he's kind of small, like 240, 6'3". Like it's a, you know
Probably
what?
on the slightly leaner side and shorter side, yeah, for an
Not
edge.
loving it. Not loving it. Not gonna lie. Not gonna
Could
lie
you
at all.
actually filter it by edge?
I was gonna try. Let's see. Yeah, let's see if I can filter it.
Because I would agree that's definitely the position. Ooh, that
It's a
I don't know how to
drop
pronounce
off,
his name.
man. That's a drop off.
From
So you know what?
Michigan,
I was
Deshaun Barman. I've heard a lot
yeah.
of good stuff about him. I watched a little bit of not that I'm watching tape. I just watched some highlights, but you absolutely see the explosion from him.
See, I like that I hear that from you about him, but I just don't know if I can justify that pick at pick 68 all the way down. I think I can wait and get him later. Let's see if I can find another player that might jump out at me. That might be a little more like I'm looking at Max Clare here. All right. We don't have any tight ends. All right, we have Dallas Goddard on another 1 year deal, and then it's nothing. So is it an impossibility that we go after a young tight end in the third round? As like
Is this our first pick in the third?
this is our
First or
first
fourth?
early pick in the third.
Okay.
I mean, look, he's a potential starter for teams that prioritize tight end involvement in the passing game. That's us. Who's blocking flashes but lacks consistency again. Sounds like Dallas Goddard, 6'5", 243.
What was
Um,
the resolution with Goddard? Did he just sign a 1 year extension?
just a
What
1 year
happened?
deal. 1 year
A 1 year
deal.
deal.
1 year deal. I mean, look, run block grade looks like his PFF numbers come back pretty good. And honestly, we don't really take first round tight ends, but look, we took 2 seconds, and I'm gonna say an early third is pretty much a second. So, we usually take second rounders in the late second, but we have the Jets third, so it's early.
What's the deal with Calcaterra? It,
He's just a horrible blocker. He's just going to be there for like just fodder,
oh,
just to be
I'm
fodder.
looking at that pick right before. Elijah Surratt would have been a really good pick,
Well,
but
even if I
assuming
went receiver after, yeah,
we did
yeah.
go receiver. Now, one of the best things how we ever did was go corner after 2 years ago with Quignon and Cooper DeJean.
Yeah,
But
no, you could
you're
go
right.
receiver receiver.
Typically you don't double up, but these are positions that do play multiple guys at once. You don't typically go like two quarterbacks because you only play one at a time. It's something to keep in mind, maybe for our next draft if we want to wait on receiver next.
I think we might just to get. Yeah, I mean, this is a really deep
So
class. It looks like.
is Tariq Woolen, would he keep us from going corner? It's a 1-year deal.
I don't think so, to be honest, because the guys behind him are just not flashing at all. I mean, we're looking at like guys like Keely Ringo. We're looking at Jacorian Bennett, who were just someone we traded Thomas Booker for, a decent backup defensive tackle, and I believe he earned a contract extension with the Raiders, so he had a good enough year to where they actually ended up signing that player we traded Jacorian Bennett for, and we're not looking to play Bennett at all. So I do think Abney in the third round. We've had a history of taking corners in the third round, and they just never pan out. So I'm kind of iffy on like kind of going like in that direction. But what do you know about Abney?
No, he was one of the better players on our defense. From Arizona State. He was a guy that he was even a pretty good last year when we made the college football playoff. You know, there was a point where I'm like, yeah, he's probably going to be a draftable type player, and we're not Georgia or Ohio State. We don't produce 10 guys every year. So to say like, hey, this is probably a draftable guy is a big deal for us. Um, I mean, you got 4 third round picks. Excuse me, you're starting with 4 third round picks. I mean, there's a chance you actually end up packaging a couple because that is a lot, and you only get 53 men on a roster, and so you're gonna have to double up on some positions.
Wait, I don't have four
If you
third
if
round
you
picks.
were
I have two.
interested in Abney, I
Two.
wouldn't let Tariq Woolen get in the way. He's a 1-year deal. I do like that the other two guys are probably going to get extensions either next year or the year after. Um, I think it'd be a good value pick at this point. I do know how important tight ends are for the Eagles. I mean, they've kind of always, you know, filtered through multiple guys, within teams. You guys go 2, even 3 deep sometimes. So given Goddard's uncertainty and Calcaterra's, you know, deficiencies blocking, I could see that. I mean, I don't I don't know if you want to go even more offensive line depth because it's not just Lane Johnson's looming retirement coming up. I mean, you got all kinds of guys across the line going out of the country to get surgeries and talking about how their body's broken. Oh, I mean, that's a guy, uh, Caleb Tiernan is a guy I think that the Cardinals are going to strongly consider, probably in this range. Um, I mean, he's a huge. I mean, he's a ginormous.
6'7". Good lord.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think I'm going to go with Max Clare just because I really do want to get that tight end situation figured out, and he
Okay.
does seem
We
to
have
be the
three
last.
other picks. I don't know how much further they are, but we have three
Oh
other
no no
picks.
no we only have one more third.
Oh, okay. Well, that kind of changes the math a little
Yeah,
bit. I think
no
we have
we have
four. We
yeah
have 4 picks, 2 in the third. Okay.
yes, and I believe this last one's a comp pick, so it's at the very end of the third.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, see, it's a comp. All right, cool. So you know what? This actually lines up pretty well here.
Drew
I'm gonna go ahead
Aller.
and take Drew Aller. No, I'm just kidding.
Really? Oh,
Screw you, Jalen.
Jacoby Lane. I was told to mention him.
Jacoby Lane, receiver. Let's
Yes.
see. What do we know about Jacoby Lane? Let's see. You're long into long X receivers who live up. Okay, so basically like what we did with Chris Brazzle. Okay, low separation scores and yak spook, you likely look away. Okay, I don't want him. Nope.
Just say I have insight on him.
What kind of insight you got on him? What do you know?
I know a person who's talked to a family member of his.
Oh, that's interesting. Dejon Stribling. Oh, that's that other Old Miss receiver who's just a freak of nature. That's what I heard. All right, that's God. These
Maybe see him in the
receivers.
weight room.
I'm so excited to see these receivers fall somewhere. Brennan
Oh,
Thompson.
there's your guy,
He
Brennan
ran like a
Thompson.
ran like a 4.2. Michael Trigg, another good receiving tight end. Gosh, what a great draft. All right, so what I think I'm
Ooh,
gonna do is I'm
Sean
gonna look at
Elliott.
this Logan. I'm gonna take an Iowa offensive lineman, and I'm looking at this guy Logan Jones. We do not have very many inside backup depth in the offensive line behind like our initial interior offensive line. I'm feeling pretty good about Logan Jones playing that swing guard position and kind of filling in for when Cam Jurgens or Dickerson or Tyler Steen kind of fall out. I think this is great value. You want to hit that interior offensive line. Typically, those guys fall a little bit, so you might be getting a little bit of a better value in the third round. Might be a better player than a third round pick would probably be just because of positional value. High IQ, feisty center with strong athleticism for zone schemes. Oh, it sounds like someone I know. Jason Kelsey moves well laterally and shows good hand usage, but short arms. Oh, that's. Is this Kelsey? He's a little old. 24 is old, but you know what? Linemen play into their later years. You know what? If he hits, whatever. I'm not expecting him to be a stalwart for the next, whatever. Stalwart appears to be my favorite word of the pod. So I'm gonna go ahead and pick Logan Jones out of Iowa. They're gonna rake me over the coals. Okay, here we go. Where's my grade? Do I not get a grade? Awards earned. What the heck, Tanner? I thought we were supposed to get like an award or something. Why do I not get one?
Was it that bad?
Grades are not available for drafts with a custom big board. Oh, okay.
Oh, that makes sense.
That's
I'll
a
give you. I'll give
bummer.
you a thumbs up. I
Okay.
like Matt Dianachor. I'm more skeptical on Brazel. Um, if he does succeed, it would
A
be
gamble.
in spite of prior Tennessee tight ends or wide receivers. I like going Max Clare. It just I know how the Eagles operate when it comes to the tight end room, and they're going to value it more than others maybe. Plus the trend is just two tight end sets are just going up, which is awesome. I love that. And then going with an Iowa offensive lineman, can't go wrong.
Oh, of course. Oh, yeah, that's great. I'm excited. So I
I
feel
would
good
say
about.
what this probably got the Tanner grade would probably be like at probably B plus, A
All right, so
minus.
I'm gonna take a picture of this. So when the draft comes and one of these guys gets drafted, we can be like, "Damn it!" Um. All right, so let's go ahead and do another one. Let's do another quick mock. Let's see. Oh, we're good. We're good. All right. I don't want to waste too much of the time, so I'm gonna try to make this. And I'm not gonna do the consensus. I'm gonna do PFF so we can get
Oh,
grades.
take the Cardinals off.
Oh yeah. All right. So let's see what happens here when I do this a little differently and randomness, and I have my board, so now we can get grades. Thank God. Let's go ahead and see what happens. Come on, Jordan Tyson. Jordan Tyson. Jordan Tyson.
Jordan Tyson to me gives me Tetaroa McMillan vibes from last year. A lot of people are like, I don't know, like he could probably be available in the early 20s, and he
Damn
ends up
it.
going eighth to the Panthers.
Okay. All right. So, okay. So this is what we got going here.
Ooh,
So we
big guy.
had pretty similar, almost everything the same. Maui Noah went to the Saints instead. Cardinals went Sonny Styles. Ooh. Next fast linebacker, come on down.
At least
Let's
he plays linebacker.
Mansoor Delane also kind of fits as a Cowboy, sadly for me. I could see that. Keldrick Falk screams Panthers. Now that I see that, I just he's gonna be a Panther.
I
Um,
saw him in a mock this morning go to the Panthers.
yeah. Avion Terrell screams Charger. Honestly, so this
Really?
is actually to me. I don't know. It just seems like a
He
Charger.
screams Chief to me.
Interesting. All right, so we have a little bit of wide receiver availability now. A new guy pops up on the market here, Omar Cooper.
Apparently, he has a Debo Samuel build.
Very interesting because when I remember we signed AJ or traded for AJ, we had just got our butts kicked by the Niners. Um, and I remember a lot of people were thinking like, oh well, he's gonna be the new Debo. He's the Debo, or maybe we didn't get our butts kicked by the Niners. It was the year that Debo went off. It was like 2021, and like everyone thought that AJ could be that Debo type player. And I've always thought those receivers were like fun to have if they actually like play receiver well too. Like I just don't want them to be gimmicky jet sweep guys. So like I was interested in Omar, and obviously this kid like blew up the college football world. I mean, him and Mendoza went crazy. Like that catch, remember that catch at the end of the year, or that like where he like won the
Oh
game and
yeah,
barely
I actually
got
watched it live. It didn't make sense.
catch of the year. So I mean, this kid has some freaky skills. So I mean, he's well rounded. He just seems like a solid NFL wide receiver. And I'm
I
tempted
think
to
you
take
have to
him.
look at it from the Eagles' perspective. In a world where we trade AJ Brown, could he complement Devontae Smith?
I think the answer is yes.
I agree. Make a lot of sense here.
It would. So I'm gonna say yes. We're drafting Omar Cooper out of Indiana. Ooh, that'd be so cool.
Who would have thought 2 years ago?
We're taking an Indiana receiver. Oh my god, gross. All right, here we go. Second round. Okay, all
Getting
right.
Dunker.
All right, so since we went receiver, second round.
There's Brazel again. Malachi Lawrence is a name I'm hearing a lot of excitement about.
Tools to be a rotational 3-4 outside linebacker. Check. Inconsistency in both strengths and weaknesses. Okay, may limit him to flash. Let's see. Wow, his pass rush win rate's crazy. Pass rush grade is great. Okay, so this guy just seems like a strict, like, go get the quarterback edge type of guy. Even though he only had 7 sacks. Well, I guess that's not bad in 12 games. Um, let's see. Over the tackle, outside. Okay, so he's just an edge. Let's see. 6'4". Man, I really wish we had our combine stats here. You know what? We can. Edge. Bang. I've had this the whole time. Where's he at? What's his name? Malachi?
Malachi Lawrence.
Oh, I love how he's not even on here. That's not good. Where's he at?
When I hear his name being brought up, and I guess you could say this about any guy from a non-power four school,
That's interesting.
but
You
he's
say
one
that.
of those where people say, "Man, if he had like a Florida State helmet instead of a UCF helmet, he would be a
You know,
no-brainer first
this is
rounder."
very interesting. How like this proves that you look at these mock or you look at these like rankings and like I don't even know where he's at. He's not even here. That's insane. How like some of these guys just fall through the cracks.
Yeah,
Why do I not see him? That's insane. This is like a large database of like NFL draft prospects. I'm not even seeing him. Huh? He's like 53rd here. That's unacceptable. They got to get their act together. All right, but I mean, I like look. I mean, honestly, we do need edge. So honestly, in a world where like we go receiver, I love going edge in the second round. I think that's a great way to go tackle this need. So I'm gonna go ahead and
my
say edge.
understanding, the depth of this draft is at edge.
Yeah. So you know what? I'm loving the Malachi Lawrence pick. Seems toolsy.
It's
I'm
a
going with it.
premium position, but I think if you were ever gonna prioritize something else, I think this would be the year.
And you know what? Perfect. Caleb Tiernan, that Lane Johnson backup. Bang. Oh, we're gonna kill this draft. Oh my god.
He, I think Tiernan is going to be a very popular early third round pick.
And you know what? You know what I'm gonna think? Give me a tight end. Give me a nice toolsy, rangy tight end. Michael Trigg.
Ooh.
Vertical athleticism. Potential. Oh, yep. Love it, love it, love it.
So there's a
Drop
play. Look
rate.
at that in week 4 versus Arizona State. I can send it to you later. He got stopped at like the 1 yard line, and there's this huge like just gathering of both, tacklers and people trying to push him over the line.
Missed tackles.
And right before the whistle blows, like in this like kind of like a bowling ball of people, you see this arm just stick out and like stretch like a full yard. It was incredible arm length showing off, and
So
he scored a touchdown.
what I'm loving here is the missed tackles forced third in tight ends, and he's also deep catches third. So not only is he getting behind guys, he's running over dudes. Like that's a wonderful combination to see in a tight end. Now,
Look at some of those grades; those are interesting.
his drop rate's awful. He doesn't run block for crap. So that's this guy is literally just a glorified receiver running tight end
It
right
does make you wonder, how do you get a solid receiving grade, but your drop rate's bad, your contested catch rates, meh. It's the yards per route run that's good. That's elite.
A lot of people were worried that the Eagles tight ends are just so like bad at run blocking that I wonder if this would prohibit them from going after him, which is why I was more like a Max Clare type who seems to be best of both worlds a little bit, kind of a middle ground. But you
Is
know
he
what?
available?
No, I don't think he's available anymore. He went a while ago, I think. He went in the second round.
Oh wow.
At least I think he did. I don't see him anywhere. Yeah. Yeah, Max Clare.
Oh,
Or maybe
well,
he
just
did go. Let me filter just to be safe. I don't. He may still be here. No, he's gone. Unless
I
he.
think
Yeah,
he went in the middle of the third.
yeah, he's gone. But yeah. So I really like Michael Trigg. I'm gonna go Michael Trigg. He's exciting. All right, let's see how
He
we do.
would feel like you're duplicating with Calcaterra,
A little
but
bit. A mine. Wow. You know what? I just took the best grade
I think
among.
I'm in line with those grades. I think each grade represents how I feel too. I would
Wow.
love Omar Cooper Jr. as a
Okay, so you're a
compliment,
big Omar Cooper Jr. guy.
to, well, no, specifically for the Eagles. I think he'd be a great compliment for Devontae Smith.
Interesting.
Malachi Lawrence, I hear a lot of good stuff about him. I mean, I agree with the A grade, mostly because I think he might not be there. So that would be a
Interesting.
concern. And then Caleb Tiernan, I mean, like I said, I think he's going to be a pretty popular pick in that early third round range.
There we go.
I like Michael Trigg, but similarly to how I kind of viewed Omar Cooper, I'm a little more skeptical based off of doubling up on Calcaterra types. I would prefer the Ohio State tight end skill set wise. But I do like him overall as a player. He's definitely someone that like an offensive minded guy could have some fun with.
So we went receiver first,
Yep.
and then we went offensive lineman with the previous draft.
Yep.
I don't want to pigeonhole myself to a position, but I don't want to just go ahead and I don't want to pick either of those positions if I don't have to. But I want to see if
Would
I can go in a different direction. Let's see.
would
Let's see if we
corner
can.
make sense?
Corner would be fun. Let's see if we can.
But I don't think we've had guys that you're looking at that
No,
spot.
I just
I
don't
think
think
that's the
so.
issue.
Let's see. I have to reset. Let's try this again. Sorry, guys. So we're gonna do this again. I'm just have to unclick the Cardinals.
I definitely like that last draft much more.
Yeah, that seemed to be much more in line with what we were looking for. Oh, not multiplayer. There we go. Let's get rid of that. Let's get back to the Eagles. Positional value, more, PFF big board, drop it down to there, make it 3 rounds, enter. Start. Ruben Bain to the Cards.
At 3?
Yeah. I just don't think Jordan Tyson's making it to us, dude. I just don't think it's happening.
Maybe I
Okay.
should post. I did it. I did Tanner's mock 1.0 today. Maybe I should post that. I did have Jordan Tyson going, I believe, eighth overall to the Saints.
Okay, so it looks
Or no,
like
excuse me, ninth to the Chiefs.
so I'm going to go ahead and just look at Cassius Howe, and I know that you
Hmm.
said earlier that he's basically like Ruben Bain light because of his short arms. But this is kind of what we were looking for. We were looking for an edge. We were looking for an edge that lines up or a corner that lines up. Fortunately, Colton Hood's like in the mid 30s. I don't know if that might be too much of a reach unless they just love him, and he mightn't even start year one either. Cassius Howe might be in the rotation pretty quickly in the defensive rotation. So look at that, 12 sacks, Texas A&M. Not ideal measurables, but I mean, it seems to have a good burst and is able to just win regardless. Now, is his arms like in the statistical anomaly range, or are they like is it
They're
that bad?
they are shorter than Ruben Baines.
Even shorter.
I think so.
Oh my gosh! And look at those run stop rates. That's terrible as well.
Okay, what I want to pose this to you.
Okay.
If I told you he was going to be Marcus Golden, you remember him?
Yes,
Cardinals.
he was okay.
Is that good enough for pick 23?
I'd
For
still give him.
reference, we took him in the second, so it's a little bit harder to say yes. But
It might not be. So I'm wondering, like, just for sake, do I click Edge and just see how it plays out? Because again, I don't like. I might love Emmanuel McNeil more and Eamon Worry, but like, I just don't think a safety in the first round is just good value. With like,
it's
I don't know.
crazy.
I just
He
don't know if
feels
you would
like
do.
he feels like a John player to a
I
T.
know it's killing.
I
It's
know.
doing it.
I
It's
it
doing
kind of like I'm actually
it's
kind of
killing me.
stunned.
It's killing me. You know what? Screw it, dude. We need a safety. I don't give a. I'm doing it. I don't care. I don't care. Who cares?
He
It's
seen
over.
okay. Given his size, because you liked him in Warrior last year, right?
Loved them.
Yeah. So he feels like he's
We need a
that player.
safety. We
He
need a
feels like he's
safety.
the Eamon Worry, and that just feels right up your like the versatile type guy who on third and passing situations and nickel packages he can come up and play linebacker.
All right, here we go. We're gonna go Jennings Dunker because he has great hair.
He
He's
has
from
great hair,
Iowa.
and
He
he's
could
from
be the
Iowa.
best.
That is
Him and Lane would get along so well. Oh my
look at
God, you're.
2024. He was elite last year.
Oh, that's
This year
insane.
he was good. He was elite last year.
No, that's awesome. I'm really excited to maybe get him as like Lane's backup and kind of like his heir apparent. That'd be great. Tackle experience. Oh, best projects to be a guard. Oh, interesting. Well, you know what? We like.
Every tackle projects better at guard. It's
I
driving me
don't
nuts.
love his. I don't love Tyler Steen very much. So you know what? If he can get into being a guard and maybe even being long term tackle, but has some guard flexibility, heck yeah, dude, get in there.
Look, his strength was zone. Isn't that what the Eagles are moving to?
Mhm. Jennings Dunker. So now we're gonna go find those late, awesome, toolsy wide receivers.
And
Oh,
we got
so
two picks to play with.
Skylar Bell at 60. Coleman. Oh, Brett Coleman was gushing about this guy, man. I don't know if you've watched his 10 offensive
I
draft
think
care yet.
Coleman really values guys with special teams ability, and I think Skylar Bell projects as a special team. Like he has that capability.
Again, just for people who don't know, he's from a very small conference. But look at these. I mean, he dominated the conference that he was in. I mean, grade versus man, top tier. Contested catch, top tier. Receiving grade, top tier. Yards per route run, top tier. Even though he ran a ton of routes, he had 141 targets. Think about
That's a
that.
lot of volume.
That's a ton of volume and only four drops.
Look at the
Four
jump in
drops.
touchdowns going from 5 to 13 this year.
He has. Listen. He has, and apparently I saw this, he's very tough to bring down. He's his screen catches was fifth. His screen yards was ninth. His contested catches pretty solid at 23rd. You
What's
know,
his
th- th-
measurable?
not the
Okay.
tallest. So he's actually okay. I thought he'd be
No,
taller.
he's fair size.
fair size, 185. Redshirt senior, kind of on the older side. But you know what? I like him. I like him in the third round. Let's see.
It's interesting because he played at a smaller school in Yukon. I don't even know if the Big East exists anymore. So the competition level is going to be interesting with him, and he didn't really test that well. So yeah, I mean I do like him. It sounds like he's an intriguing prospect. Again, you're gonna nitpick in the third round. Like all these guys are gonna have questions.
Of course.
Yeah,
I'm
so
looking at
I
like
don't want
Ted
to be
Hurst.
too critical.
Ted Hurst. If you want to have that lean speed guy who just goes, this guy's
I've got
screaming.
to ask, why did he not transfer?
This guy's
I've heard good. I've
screaming.
heard good things about him.
Marquez
Why did
Valdez
he not
Scantling.
transfer? In this era of college football, where there's nothing stopping you, he could go
Well,
make a lot more money at a bigger school. Why did he stay at Georgia State? I'm not saying that it's inherently bad. How could you not wonder?
Zachariah Branch feels just like a quick slot receiver guy. Malachi
I
feels
can't
big.
see him on the Eagles. That doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Skylar Bell.
I
Like
think that
I'm
makes.
pretty excited about Skylar Bell.
Yep, I agree. And that's the luxury of having 2/3.
I know.
Day 2 is a great day to have multiple picks because you know how you actually manipulated the big board on the first draft, and
Hmm.
you were looking at Malachi Lawrence. You're like, wow, this guy has him in the late first, and then this draft doesn't even have him in the top 100 because these boards are so off. That's why the second day 2 picks, second round and third round, like you get some really fun, exciting players on those days because
So
you're gonna get guys you have first round grades on.
so we went safety, then we went offensive line. We still need edge. so so we're kind of in the we're kind of in the crap here because we do need an edge, and we are, let's see, pick 98's not that far off, so let's take a look at one of these guys. At this point we're looking for tools, so who cares about the big
I was
board?
gonna say get the combine freak.
NFL ready
All
frame,
right, I
good
think we found
overall.
one.
Yep, does not consistently win
He's
enough to
huge,
project. Yeah,
285.
that's enormous as an edge. Oh my god, his length.
Anthony Lucas from Southern California from USC.
Yeah,
And
SoCal, yeah.
he's younger too. He's only 21 and a half. Look at the snaps. Let's see where exactly. Okay, so he primarily lined out
He's an
wide.
edge, and he's
Yeah,
huge. He's huge. Why is
what's
he so big? Uh, oh my gosh. Let's see. Was that Kamara? Yeah, Kamara. Okay, all right. Yeah, I'm
there
gonna
was
go.
a lot of guys on Indiana's defense that I just thought they were just all solid players.
Yeah, I'm not loving the lack of
Wow, he
production.
was great in 24. Look at that.
2 sacks. Something happened to him. I don't know. Outside tackle seems to have some flexibility, kind of over the B gap. I don't know. I don't know. Takaria. I'm gonna go
We're
USC here.
scrolling pretty far down.
Yeah, we are. I'm gonna fall. Oh my gosh, I don't want to do this, but you know
Anthony
what?
Lucas could be interesting if you wanted to continue. I understand you're interested in edge, but you got that center from Iowa, um, who appears to be some good value here as well. Could you look at a Garrett Nussmeier? It's been a while since you guys have taken a quarterback.
Would that be the Tanner McKee replacement in the fourth round? Honestly,
He's a
our
coach.
our,
Did you know his
our
dad is the offensive coordinator for the Saints?
he also used to be the quarterbacks coach for the Eagles. Kellen Moore brought him.
There you go.
Nussmeier didn't even look at him.
What's funny is he did not play up to expectation this year. He was going into the year thought of being a first round quarterback.
Dude, I am just killing these drafts. Oh my god. I am a PFF god. Look at this. They just love my picks. And they didn't think that Emmanuel McNeil Warren was the best pick. They thought I should have taken Omar Cooper. Look at that. Dude, I feel good about these players, man. I'm glad we did this because now we have like a deeper understanding of these like positions. And that way when
Yep.
like these players go off the board, like we're gonna know, who these guys are. So I'm actually really excited. This has really been a fun
I think
good.
it's a helpful exercise, and it also when day 2 is around and we're in the second round and we're in the third round, we have guys that were like, "Ooh, I hope he falls. I hope he
I saw
falls."
that guy. I remember we talked about that.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's been really cool. I really feel like not only do I think that we've learned a little bit, I hope our listeners and viewers have learned a little bit about these guys too. Because, look, I mean, once you get past the first round, we start thinking about guys like I don't know that guy that well, but I know some people just they don't love the draft, so they don't know much about any of these guys. So, so
if you don't like have an interest in learning about these college guys, you don't watch college football, you don't listen to draft podcasts. Why would you be interested in like the draft? This is like a whole new language. You don't know any of these guys. You have no, no opinion on these guys. You don't know if it's if you're excited or if you're disappointed. So yeah, I mean, if you don't do a little bit of research, it's kind of hard to get that excitement.
oh, of course, they're just names going across the screen. You have no idea who they are.
Yep.
So that's exciting to see. But all right, I feel like that's a pretty good ending point before we jump into our extra point. You ready, Tanner?
Let's do it.
All right, I'll do it. There we go.
The extra point.
Good producing, me saying I'll do it. That's what the pros do. All right, so
We'll have our editors bleep that out.
yeah, for sure. All right, so I'm gonna give a shout out for my final or for my extra point to the Flyers. All right, but here's what I'm gonna say. Love the fact that the Flyers in the playoffs. Super exciting. Very cool to see all the Flyer fans, all flyered up in Philadelphia, calling WIP, saying, "You haven't been talking about the Flyers for 5 years. Now you're talking about them. You don't deserve to talk about the Flyers." No, but that's not what I'm here to talk about. I'm actually my final thought, or sorry, my extra point is this. While I'm happy for the Flyers, I just don't understand hockey when it comes like playoff hockey. Like they say it's like the most exciting thing to watch. Why? I like the sport flies by at like a million miles an hour, and it's not even like a exciting speed. It's like it's going so fast I don't know what's happening, and then the puck's in the goal, and I can't even like I don't know, revel in the fact that I saw it happen live. I feel like half the time the puck goes in and you're like, oh, wait, what happened? How'd they score? And then you have to go back and look at the replay and say, oh, sick. You see how the puck went under that guy's stick and under the skate? That was awesome. And yeah, it's awesome to see in slow mo. But like, when I see a sport, football, for example, quarterback drops back, throws it deep. You see the receiver, he's going after that ball, looking it in, running, touchdown. You can see it happening. You're like, there's the end zone. He's going to. It's like you're with him on the play. You are experiencing baseball. Ball's going out, right fielders, going back, and he looks up and it's gone, So it's that moment of like, anticipation and expectation. Whereas hockey, these guys are just flying around like hooligans. Can't even see the puck. Sticks are going a million miles an hour. The puck ends up in the net. You don't even understand how it happened. And all of a sudden you're just like, yeah, cool, whoa, I think it's stressful because everything's moving so fast and it's like so exciting because people say it's like the most exciting sport in like playoffs is like playoff hockey. I think it's only exciting because people don't actually know when it's going to end because it can end in any moment. But that doesn't mean it's exciting to watch. It means it's just because you're not actually watching anything. You're just watching little bees, and all of a sudden the game's over. But you're not actually watching the literal players and watching the plays happen in real time. I don't know. Maybe I just sound foolish, but watching hockey to me has always been a chore, and it's just not exciting. But I don't know, or maybe too exciting. I don't even know how to judge it. I can't really get into it. So happy for the Flyers. I will try to watch some playoff hockey, and I'll root for them because I'm a Flyers fan. Damn it! But you know what? I'm not. I don't agree with that whole idea of it being like the best postseason sport. Do you have any thoughts on that?
Yeah, that was a terrible take. So your idea of, I don't know what's happening, I have to wait for a replay. We don't even know what a catch is in football. So
stop.
even though you're just running,
Yes, I do.
Boop, And like, nope, we have to watch
No,
5 minutes worth of
no,
replays to figure out,
no,
you know,
no, we don't.
did a wrist
It's
hit the
really
ground? Did an
easy.
ankle hit the ground?
It's
Did he
really
catch
easy.
it? And then did the ball move? And so this idea that you instantly know, like, okay,
No,
sure, you understand what the rule is on how to determine a catch, but you have to watch and see if a catch is actually made through an instant replay. You have to wait around and look like, are there any flags on the play? This idea that you are just so much smarter than us and you don't need replays, you don't need officials, you can just watch it without, any
I know
assistance
it.
is a ridiculous take. Hockey is fun to watch because it's fast
Why?
paced, it's physical, and the environment, especially in hockey, are just very fun. And you got the cool horns and the crowds are cheering. Just because you don't know what's going on doesn't mean it's not an exciting sport. It's like soccer on steroids. The thing with soccer is even though the ball moves faster than the person and you can make up a lot of ground, I mean, the way these hockey players can not only skate, but they make passes so quickly across the ice. Like, it is very fast paced and
But you
like
can't see
goals
it.
can be scored quickly. Well, then you know what? Talk to
What's
your
the
eye
point of
doctor
looking at
about
something that
that.
you
Like, I'm
can't see?
sorry, you're in your 30s now. You're getting old. You're just slow. Like you're not like you're not the target demographic.
Who
Gramps.
is the people who can see
No,
it like
people who
0.5
actually
speed?
are like what?
Who are the people who can see it like 0.5 speed and can slow everything down immediately? Like, like you're cheering for the end result of something that you didn't actually get to see happen. Like that's ridiculous to me.
That sounds like a
No,
personal issue.
no, it doesn't. No,
It
it
does.
doesn't.
I feel like the cameraman's pretty good at tracing the puck, and
Oh my gosh.
I can generally follow the puck if we got good camera work, which I don't remember watching hockey games and being like, I don't know what's going on here. I just see a bunch of dots. Like, you could say
That's
that about
exactly what it
football.
looks like, dude. How often have you seen a play where the puck just like ricochets off someone? It wasn't even really
That's
meant to happen.
exciting.
No, it's not. That's like honestly, if that happened in football, that'd be the dumbest crap ever. Like, oh, the ball bounced off two dudes, and that's like how half the goals are scored. It's like that's not fun or exciting. I wouldn't even say that's skillful. That's all luck.
Okay, I don't know if it's half the goal. I mean, yeah, there is some randomness to some goals, but this idea that like the balls can't like, in football don't like ricochet off guys and like some of the most memorable plays of all time are, the ball just sticking to some guy's helmet or like, there's some randomness to it. Also, your baseball example, oh, I know what a home run is. The most exciting play can't be the play where only one person is moving and that moving player is literally jogging. Everyone just stands there and watch. If that's your most exciting play, you have a problem with that sport.
I mean,
Just look at the ratings of baseball and see how that's working.
they're
It's
doing
a
great.
dying sport.
What are you talking about?
Yes, the average age of a baseball fan is getting older and older by
Have
the
you
year.
seen the dying sport? Have you seen the ratings? The ratings for baseball are through the roof these past 5 years. Are you kidding me?
Relative to where they
They're
have
better
been.
than the NBA Finals, dude. When we were in
Well,
high
that's a
school,
dying sport too. Like
well,
there are
you
a
know
lot
what?
of
Though?
issues.
If you were to tell me back in high school that the NBA Finals would have less viewers than the MLB World Series, that you would never believe it. So something obviously is happening. Yet baseball is being way.
Well,
This argument's not about baseball.
baseball is doing better
It's
about
about
making
hockey.
changes. No, baseball is making changes. To be fair, they're changing things here and there, and I think there are measurable changes, like things that you can actually see. What has basketball done? They haven't done anything. Like basketball needs to make changes. They just haven't yet. That's why I think that's why they're on a decline.
I'm going to watch a hockey game. I'm going to give it a shot.
Wow. Well,
I'm going to give it
you
a
better
shot.
be quick on it because I don't know how long the Flyers are going to survive.
Oh, we're beating the Penguins. We're beating the Penguins.
I don't know. Some guys, really like the Penguins in Philadelphia.
No,
Some
no,
people
no.
really admire,
Willie Myers,
Sid the
Sidney Crosby.
Kid.
No, no, Sid the Kid.
That's
No, listen.
oh, that is grosses me out so much. I can't imagine admiring an LA Ram or a Seattle Seahawk or San Francisco 49er like that. I appreciate good players. I can't like I can't mm-mm, I can't be a fan of theirs.
Didn't know you loved hockey so much, Tanner. Didn't know you were such a
Hockey's
sports fan.
fun. Oh, I'm a total casual. I don't show up until April May playoff time.
Sounds
But
like it, man. You got heated.
playoff hockey's fun.
Go Canes, take warning. My
Number one
God.
seed in the East.
Hey, we clinched our playoff because we beat the Hurricanes, but they weren't playing any of their starters apparently.
They're playing like their third stringers. Yeah.
Yeah, and we barely won anyway. And I
Congrats.
noticed I'm using words like we and my Flyers, and I'm a Flyers fan. Now, real John heads know that I don't give a crap about the Flyers. I've never mentioned them, and like,
Why would you? You hate the sport.
I hate the sport, and they're irrelevant.
If the Flyers left tonight, if they pulled a like a Baltimore Colts move, you'd either not notice or not care.
My life would be so unaffected. Like
You would be perfectly fine of being a 3-sport city.
Oh, completely. I wouldn't be. But you know what? I listen.
Wait a second. No, two sport.
No, we'd have the Sixers, the
What?
Phillies, and the Eagles. What are you talking about?
Sorry, I'm mixing you up with Pittsburgh doesn't have a basketball team.
Oh, okay. I was about to say, well, what happened to the Sixers? They'll be knocked out too soon. They're playing the Celtics. All right, but it won't last long. Joel Embiid had an appendectomy. He's not even playing in the playoffs, but it's screwed. They're screwed up. All right, what? That was my extra point. All right, Tanner, what's yours?
All right, I'll name mine first, so you have a chance to think about it a little bit. My question is, what is a weird food combination that you like?
Oh,
So the one that I thought of for me, and there's actually a story behind it. I like to, and maybe it's weird. I don't know. I think it's weird. I don't hear anyone else do it. When I make like a tuna sandwich, I like to add honey mustard. Is that weird or no?
no, I don't think that's weird. It has that tanginess, and I already have mine. I know exactly.
Well, the reason, the story that I got this from was there was a birthday sleepover at a friend's house, back in the day, and they were taking like Subway orders from everyone, and so I like honey mustard, but without like thinking, I said I wanted a tuna sandwich, but then I just kind of like added all the condiments without really like pairing it with the protein, I guess, that I was like choosing.
Okay.
And so I'm like, oh, just add honey mustard, of course, as if it's like a ham or a turkey sandwich. And then I was like, oh, wait a second, this is kind of weird. Like, why, who orders honey mustard and ham and tuna? And come to find out, I actually like loved it. I don't know, maybe it's not that weird. I've never heard anyone else.
Honey mustard, I've always thought is such an interesting condiment because like it is.
Like, is it really versatile?
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's interesting because it's not super versatile. You kind of have to make it work, and I feel like that's interesting that you made it work with tuna. But it is on its own quite tasty. I love honey mustard. So,
I love honey mustard too.
It's great. In fact, it's one of the first condiments that I kind of branched out and started trying when I was like a kid. And I was like, ooh, what are the other flavors of the world? Honey mustard was like the first, like, ooh, this is dangerous and exciting.
And I love like comparing everyone's, like every restaurant's honey mustard because they're all so different.
Yeah.
Like I would say my favorite is probably like Chili's honey mustard.
Oh, I've never had theirs.
Yeah, it's more like creamy, I would say.
Bojangles.
If you look at,
I'm gonna say
Bojangles is like it's completely different than Chili's.
You know what? I'm gonna say it. I think it might be a little overrated in my opinion. The Bojangles honey mustard, a little too drippy.
Like compare it to McDonald's, or have you ever had Chick-fil-A honey mustard? Looks nothing like any other honey mustard.
Riveting pod content, by the way. But my first my first honey mustard was at Wendy's. I loved it. I'm not kidding. That was my first. I was at Wendy's.
I don't remember my first honey mustard experience.
Dipped it into the French fry. Ooh, this is different. So anyway, mine, and you may actually remember this because we lived together.
Yep.
You're probably
like, when I came up with this, I was thinking about this.
Oh, I wonder if I'm going to say this then. Oh my God. What if I say something different? That'd be weird. Okay. So I showed this to my wife Marissa when we first like got together, and she was like, "What are you doing?" And I was like, "What? I'm putting milk in my ice cream."
Yep. That was
She
my
goes,
reaction too.
she's like, "Why are you doing that?" And I'm like, "What do you mean?" It was always something that my mom would do. You know, like when I was a kid, she would just have our bowl of ice cream and she would pour a little bit of milk on. I just thought that was normal. Like I just thought like people did that, you know, and it makes sense because my mom drinks milk like a like a fiend. Like she just like she'll order milk at a restaurant and she'll be like, you know, everyone's like, I'll take a water with lemon, I'll take a Coke, and she'll go, can I get milk with ice? So like, yeah,
With
like yeah,
ice?
she love night milk with ice. Like she loves milk, so she'll get it all the time. So am I shocked that you know she would pour milk to her kids' ice cream bowls? Like no, not really. But no, for those who are like freaking out, the rationale is interesting. All right, when you pour milk on the ice cream, it creates a nice frosty seal on the ice cream outer edge. It almost creates like a nice little crispy, like nice icy outside shell, and then you can get the creamy inside. And on top of that, if you want to like take the spoon and just like kind of like chop up the ice cream bits, it turns into a milkshake basically. Like you're getting a milkshake in a bowl. Now I love milkshakes, so like that was always in, and it created more volume. It turns basically ice cream and milk into ice cream plus milk, and you get more thing. Okay, so that's why I love that. I love making the ice cream and the milk into a milkshake and then just spooning it up into my mouth. Does that sound gross? Yeah. Is it weird to picture a bearded
No,
man
hold on. I
eating
don't know if it's
milkshake milk?
gross. I
It's
guess
odd.
if you don't understand the whole like, oh, what kind of gives it like an icy, texture, whatever. Like it just my first thought is it sounds unnecessary. Like
Well, yeah, ice cream is milk, so I mean, it makes
right.
sense.
But I definitely wouldn't say it's gross. But the texture that it creates because ice cream is cold or frozen, that it kind of gives it like a crystally like feel, I guess. I mean, I remember seeing you do it for the first time, and to be fair, I haven't ever tried it. I just trusted that I trusted you were weird, and like I didn't need to like evidence to prove that. But I probably should at some point at least try it.
Oh, it's such a good idea, especially when you're low on ice cream. You just want to like, you know, create a nice little
Sounds like you're low. It sounds like you're low in a blender because that is a milkshake.
that's extra steps. Honestly, it's a lot easier than you think. I mean, it just dissolves pretty quickly. I mean, you don't have to sit there and churn it like butter for long. You really just chop it up a few times, stir it a little bit. And look, you don't have to turn the whole thing into milkshake. You can still take a little couple of chunks and, eat some ice cream like normal, then, stir up the rest. It kind of made me want to get some ice cream, man.
Tell you what. Do
Oh my
you do
God.
you have a do you know the ratio for ice cream to milk if you're making a
You
milkshake?
don't put as much. You don't put as much as you would need for cereal. It's not. You're not like pouring a ton.
So is
It's
it
really
like a
not.
3-to-1 cups of ice cream to milk?
I would say something like that, just enough to kind of cover the bottom. Maybe like half inch off the bottom of the bowl, just enough to kind of make it nice and wet.
What are your thoughts on sherbet ice cream?
I like sherbet. Sherbet's
You
good.
do?
I
Okay,
don't
that
love it.
actually surprises me. I wouldn't think you would
No, I
because
actually
I
love it.
I have like a milkshake kind of combination for you. You take orange sherbet and then instead of milk, you would take like a Sprite and then it would create what we would call it as an orange freeze. So it's not creamy, like vanilla ice cream or chocolate ice cream would be, but because I mean it's sherbet, but it's kind of more of like like a tropically tarty flavor.
See, I love like those dreamsicle popsicles, like those orange and then like the vanilla on the inside. So whenever there's
Mm.
like dreamsicle like milkshakes at a restaurant, I always spring for them because one, they're usually like limited run, so they don't like last the entire
Like a
season.
summer thing.
Like a
Yeah.
summer thing. So I tend to get that when it's available because I like the popsicle. So I liked sherbet as a kid because it had that kind of like dreamsicle orange taste to it. Um, and adding milk to that, I used to do that with milk too with sherbet. I would chop, 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 and then it would be like a little like dreamsicle
Wait, with
milkshake.
sherbet too? Okay.
Yes, it makes a dreamsicle milkshake.
I mean, is that what a dreamsicle is? Is just sherbet and milk?
I mean, if you think about it, I mean,
Mm.
yeah, pretty much. I mean, like it's that vanilla type flavor. I mean, sherbet's probably a little more.
Try it and let me know. I mean, I'm a little skeptical.
We'll huddle up. We'll huddle up. We'll figure out what's going on. All right, guys. Well, it's at our official stop time of 1 hour and 30 minutes. So that's how we roll here. So let's talk about what next week we have going on, because we got some stuff going on. All right. So as of now, we have scheduled for us. We have 3 pods, okay, scheduled for next week. So you're going to be really sick of hearing from us. How we want to get this off the ground is we want to react to the first round on Friday. So we're going to try to get that pod out sometime Friday, because Thursday night's the draft. We want to give the first round its due credit. We want to make sure that we react to the first round, because we all know there's so many storylines that happen, not just with our teams, but with like so many other teams. So we're going to have a lot to talk about. I mean, it's going to be a ton to say. So we're going to give that first round its own pod. Don't know if it's going to last an hour and a half. Probably will, because we always say that. Second and third round will be Saturday. The draft of that second and third round actually takes place Friday, but our pod reacting to it will be Saturday. So Friday we'll react to the first round. Saturday we'll react to the second and third round, otherwise known as day 2 of the draft. And then Sunday, we will react to the final rounds and kind of do like a draft recap, kind of like hey, how did we like kind of flesh out the final rounds? How do you feel about the draft? And that'll kind of be our big draft, explosion of podcasts. So we're excited. Tanner, are you excited for that? You excited for that 3 pod rundown? That's gonna be a lot of talking. That's exciting.
If it happens, it happens. No, I'm just kidding.
It's gonna happen. Whether you're here or there, it's gonna happen. We're talking.
No, you say we're gonna try to limit to an hour and a half. It's what's funny is we could easily just make one pick each, and we'll probably have to make sure we don't go too long.
Yeah, we're
probably
gonna call it.
Who knows? I might be getting our future quarterback.
Oh my god, 2-hour pod right there. So after the draft season, basically, I mean, we're going to have a lot to kind of go over. We're going to dig into these picks, and we're probably going to pull in more guests, obviously, because we do have more than just 2 or 3 friends. Shocker. So we are going to pull from their knowledge, because we have a lot of friends who have fans from like different, NFL teams, and we want to kind of give them a chance kind of, we got the Panthers, and we got other, like the Bills, and we got lots of other people who want to give their opinion on
Steelers, Raiders,
lots of people we can talk to. So very excited to talk to them and kind of see what they thought about their draft and off season. But we're excited to see how see how our teams do. So guys, this is episode 14 of Birds Coast to Coast. So we're excited that you joined us. Hope you learned a little bit about this upcoming draft. And you guys, we are officially 1 week away. Get excited. The NFL draft, otherwise known as the best day of the year, in my opinion. But thanks for listening to us. I'm Tanner. He's John. Thanks for listening to Birds Coast to Coast. Later.